I'm the SENCO at the college. My involvement with the task is when the student teachers come in, I have a general meeting with not just the student teachers but also our new staff and our NQTs, and generally talk about the role of SEN within the college and how it works here, because obviously it's different at every college and different at every local authority. And I'm aware that student teachers may not just be staying in Devon to work, and they could be all over the country. So we do a general sort of introduction to SEN in the department, and then we pick up the student teachers that haven't done the task yet and actually need to do it with us. First of all, we have a meeting with it and asking, you know, trying to find from them, well, one, which subject areas they're in, because obviously we do work with a lot of student teachers and they're working in different subject areas. And then we look at we ask them what they would like to get out of, you know, out of doing the task. And sometimes they have areas within which they're interested. So for instance, they may be interested in working with students with Asperger's, or we've got students here that work with Down syndrome, or just dyslexia and that sort of thing. And obviously the subject area will very much affect what they want to get out of it. So a PE teacher is probably not going to want to do a lot of work with dyslexia, for instance, but might with dyspraxia. So we look at kind of what they're, you know, what the area of SEN that they're interested in or want to get involved in. And then we look at their class list, because obviously we need to identify the student that they're going to be working with. You don't want a student that they're never going to see and they have to make a special trip to go and work with. So then having looked at that, we've got probably a list of about 3 students that might be suitable. And then I refer them to the Senior Learning Support Assistant, Alison Salter. And then from that we look at who the key learning support assistant is, and then we introduce them to that, because the key learning support assistant knows the students best. They see them every day. They will have involvement with the students for some time. They will know the parents, they know the background information and so on. And obviously we've got students here with behavioural problems, and we know the best way to sort of manage them. And also some students are not suitable for doing the task with because of the way they react, so we obviously avoid those ones. We offer basically what they need. So, you know, some people are quite happy just to pick it up and run with it, so to speak, but others need more support. So we are open house here, they can come down any time, and they catch me around the college, or they'll catch the key learning support assistant. One of the roles that Alison has is to actually book times, because obviously we are all busy people, and trying to get hold of me sometimes is not easy. I'm aware of that, but Alison will book and say, right, we'll book a lesson here for you to meet with the key learning support assistant, and actually timetable it. We've been doing it for some years now, so we've sort of got it down to quite a slick performance, we think. We hope we have, yes. The benefit is both to the college, to the student, and to the student teacher as well. For instance, we had one student teacher that gave some of our students some extra French one year, which, you know, we wouldn't have been able to do. We didn't have the resources to do it, and that benefited the college. It actually benefited the students hugely, because it meant they could move back into a mainstream class, which they wanted to do. We've got them this year. One of the student teachers has been involved with introducing circle time with one of our students with high level needs. So it benefits everybody, but the student teacher then has a set of skills that they can then say when they go for interviews, I've worked with this is what I did, and so on, and that benefits the student teacher. In the long term, it benefits all of us, because obviously the more skill, the more knowledge you have, then it's obviously going to benefit society as well. I think having a general meeting first off, to put everybody in the picture about how the college works, and within that time we'll also say how we can be contacted, because I think some people are quite hard to get hold of sometimes, and we all forget. We know how the system works, but people coming in from outside doesn't. So a clear idea how the system works in college, so that initial meeting, and then just seeing what you know, because you're just not going to do it for the sake of the student teacher. I think everybody needs to benefit from it, because otherwise you're not going to want to keep doing it each year. Our biggest issue is that we don't actually get to see the task when it's finished.
The write-up.
The write-up, yes, and that would be hugely beneficial.
Right.
The other thing is we don't actually know, nobody's, well, one or two of the student teachers come and said thank you very much. In fact, they've all said thank you at the time and that sort of thing, but we don't get a lot of feedback from the student teachers saying, well, that was good, but I wish that it could have been earlier or whatever. But we do have a programme. It's not just one session we run with all staff on SEN.